Ready.
Dan McCormick, can you lead us off in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whoops, something went wrong. The service isn't available right now. Please try again later.
I had a good time, but what time did you guys stay?
That's just absolutely.
I left it.
You were there?
Yeah.
Oh, I never saw you.
I left
We
it
got
till-
called out at 8 o'clock. My father-in-law had to be rushed up to the hospital. Having an emergency gallbladder surgery at 92 years old.
No.
When?
Sometime this morning.
No, if you gotta go, Will.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the call.
just on that one
We're waiting for his coumadin levels.
Good morning, good morning.
I'm not even touching this, so
Go ahead.
Yeah, I
MS
still
phone
don't
go
have
away.
it. So,
Yeah, you might have to go into my office to download it, because this one doesn't work
I
as well.
I
this
I
router.
downloaded it here.
It works in.
I mean, not me. Mr.
Or,
Wooten downloaded it for me.
elected officials, right?
All right.
And the last
are you
one I
saying
have
that's not even there?
is November 23rd.
Are you on Outlook?
All right, we're on camera.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Dawn.
Good morning,
Modern
Councilman
technology.
Nutley. How are you?
How are you?
Good, thank you. So we're coming to you this morning to make a request for authorization to apply for a grant. This would be the Long Island Downtown Revitalization Initiative Round 2, which is through the state of New York,
65, she sent it.
Regional Economic Development Council. The town applied for this grant last year. Joe has a lot of familiarity with what happened. Last year, there was a discussion apparently, and I can let Joe kind of get into it more, but about joining with the town of Southampton on this application. It's a $10 million grant, basically designed to give strategic planning money and money to implement strategic plans to assist downtown revitalization. So.
I think the board wasn't focused. Now, you slipped that right in, applying with.
Correct. Last year, there was a discussion about it.
Right.
And actually, the application was prepared both ways, jointly with the town of Southampton and also on our own.
Yeah, we opted not to, right?
Correct, and I
Right,
think
we
Joe
didn't want
can
to-
Yeah,
kind of speak to that a little bit.
we have to not to do with Southampton.
Right.
Yes, so
We
this
wanted-
year,
We think it'll be a much stronger application if we apply with them. Last year's money went to Nassau County. We didn't think that we even had a shot at it last year, but I think we just applied just for the sake of applying,
But we
and
were shortlisted because we
and-
were invited in to speak.
Right.
we ended up getting shortlisted, and the application ranked a lot higher than we anticipated. But it went to Nassau County, so you would hope that somebody in Suffolk County would get funded this year, and that if there's only 10 towns in the county and 2 are part of one application, you could make 20% of those towns.
How would the money be shared, though?
We would do work in our downtown and Flanders, which,
5 million, 5 million.
yeah, that's fine.
5
Okay.
million's better than
But-
nothing.
I mean,
Fine.
we can't put our heads in the sand and say what doesn't happen there is not affecting us, because it is.
Right, and on that note,
I like this.
I did go to the anti-bias task force thing at the high school where they had the panel of people that were speaking, and I did speak to several members of the school district that were there that are very concerned about the 1,000 apartment units that are getting built in the Southampton side, because that will affect Riverhead School District. So I just wanna, bring that to everybody's attention.
Oh, yeah, no, they're in the school district.
Okay, but that's,
I know, but
But that,
So
we're
the more
we're
that
planning to
area
do a
gets-
couple hundred more, so.
the
We-
better,
we
the
can't-
better they
we-
do, the better we do, the better we do, the
well,
better
yeah,
they do.
yeah, I just
That
didn't know.
helps everyone.
We don't like to, put our share in. If we're
I want-
20%, with Southampton, if they put 20% of 5 million, and then they'll spend 5 million. That's my only thing, that how this is gonna be shared, we can't be scared to put our share in.
No, of course
I
not.
think it'd be,
you know.
I think we'd have to have an agreement with them that if we got the award, it would be
50-50.
50-50.
Yeah.
I think that Joey's 100% right. They can make 2 towns happy.
Right.
The
No, I
people
agree.
making the decisions are, I don't wanna say politics plays a role, but
It does.
politics plays a role in everything.
That's right,
And
it
we're
does.
not of that political
And
persuasion,
it's-
so.
and it certainly is a very crucial to our downtown, what goes on over there.
And the governor has, whether you agree or not, has a big initiative lately of jointly doing things with other levels of government, so this kind of fits into that.
Well, people don't
Okay.
know when they're coming in here, what.
All right, I'll go along with that. I'll go along with you, Joey.
So I would support doing the combined, cause I think that if we make the same application we made last year, we probably wouldn't even be shortlisted, cause they're gonna say it's the same application, you didn't get the message. And are you hearing that we should be doing this together?
Yeah, so I've been to a couple different meetings, meeting some people from New York State, from the governor's office, and other, municipal entities and divisions of those municipal entities. And basically, they're asking, are you applying with Southampton? So it's kind of just sounds like a message.
And
It's
the,
kinda like when the judge says, you should settle your case.
Or,
But
yeah,
Southampton just got the $50,000 grant for the park.
Good ground,
the
yep.
Design in the park, so.
The walkway that goes down from 24 all the way down to the water, and they're gonna put picnic tables and stuff down there. The county and the state are investing a lot of money on the Southampton side with the traffic circle and with trying to get that area up and revised
Right.
to follow Riverhead's lead.
but it makes no
Are
sense
you
to really,
kidding?
you
Did
gotta.
we just print all of those? Why did we print all of those?
Well, I just put the.
So even though it's
Well,
there's a
maybe we can
municipal
use some of
boundary
the
there,
trees that they're
we
cutting
think
for the
Yeah.
picnic
makes
area.
sense to ignore it.
Place
for this
some of that
purpose.
paper.
Alright, so.
Okay.
Go.
My personal feelings are to tell Southampton to go pound salt in the Pine Barrens.
Oh.
But but that's my personal feeling, because I think they're so far
Don't hold
behind
back, Tim.
with their revitalization, and we've been hearing it for a zillion years, it's older than EPCAL to me. I would rather Riverhead had the 10 million to do what we're on the mission to do and what we've started to do and what we're really progressing very well at. But I understand the argument, and I will agree with splitting it with Southampton. Personally, I don't feel it's right, but
Oh, I'd
the
love-
right
I'd-
thing to do
Oh, I agree with you
town-wise.
100%
You
there.
should-
The right thing to
Yeah, now,
do
what we
makes
gonna
sense
do?
with what both you and Joe
I'd love
just
to keep
said.
all
That's
this
where,
stuff.
the problem is, the state knows that's where the money is.
Right.
We don't have money over here. And money goes to money, and this is what's happening.
I don't know if it's
I
that.
prefer Democrats go to Democrats, but
Yeah, I think that's probably, but
Republicans go to Republicans.
even when I just had my conversation about the last Main Street grant, she also kind of suggested that we
I
apply
think it's a
jointly.
strong application that way, and it works
Well,
well
you're right,
because
it
we're
makes a
doing
stronger
the.
application, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, it's just bottom line.
And again,
Tim, we're gonna have to switch
If you
dates
could
until
make
November, so I can.
20% of all the towns happy,
I think that,
That seems to
alright,
help
so
us.
make the,
Get two
work,
hands grabbing
work
in
it
the
out
pot,
with
the more likely to come out
Southampton,
with something.
when's the application due?
June 14th.
And it actually works well too, because Southampton did pass resolutions, they told me yesterday about the sewer district and working with us they passed a resolution to authorize the payment of the money for the, map and plan. So it all ties together, and ultimately, when we tell them we wanna expand the sewer district in this, and if we're successful in getting the $10 million, that's going to go well with us expanding the sewer district into Southampton, so, all right.
Good.
Make the application.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very good, thank you.
All right, Drew,
Good job, Chris.
What do you got?
True,
Here comes Drew.
true.
I can't tell you how many sleepless nights I've had waiting for this discussion.
You have no idea what the discussion even is.
Sure I do.
What is it?
But no man lives forever.
That's very broad.
I know, but that's what we're waiting for. We're
Okay,
very
Drew.
excited about it this year.
Short and sweet.
Drew, even the Democrats didn't come out for this.
This isn't,
What?
this isn't what you think.
It's not what I think.
No?
Waiting for like a happy surprise, Drew?
It could be.
Oh, I don't like that answer. It could not be then.
Oh, it's not, nothing bad, it's not bad. Okay, so,
I guess I better read it then.
does anyone know what a,
Oh, here we go.
TMDL is?
Yes.
What?
A
Total
TMDL?
management daily load.
TMDL, right,
Okay, maximum daily load or something?
right. And do you know how it was developed and how it's applied to Riverhead?
Is this a question and answer period?
I
Just
wanna
a
see how
quiz.
educated you are,
Drew,
so far it's not
you
working.
wanna know my opinion? Oh,
That's
there's a
it.
sewage treatment plant over here, it's gotta be
It's pretty
Riverhead.
close, it's
That's
close,
it,
it's
that's
close
it.
to that.
The maximum daily loads are based on nitrogen, right? How-
Well,
flow?
it either it just depends what the pollutant of concern is, but anyway, so I'm talking about pathogens in Flanders Bay.
Yeah.
And at one point in time, my ultimate goal was to get the TMDL pathogen lifted from us. And I did that in 2 letters. The first one was I sent to the Marine Shell Fishery Division.
Oh.
And said, you guys have no data in the uncertified shell fishing area, and the data in the conditionally certified area is 10 years old. So they came back and said, or the state came back and said, these are staying closed because they have an administrative order. The administrative order is based on not data, but it's based on an EPA model that said if the plant fails, it's gonna contaminate the whole Flanders Bay area. That's the administrative order, why they have it. So you cannot achieve the TMDL as long as that administrative order is in place, and there's no data there to tell you what's actually coming out of our outfalls. We only have about a dozen outfalls, and they're all but one are from a residential district.
But the real issue is the sewage treatment plant.
The real issue is the sewage treatment plant.
Which, I mean, it's, for that to fail, because it's 2 trains in that sewage treatment plant, both trains would have to fail or something that would cause both trains to fail. That's not reality unless you have a hurricane or something that really wipes it out
Right, so.
anymore.
I sent you a letter one time about the new regulations. And for pathogen impaired areas,
This is, I put this in my State of the Town speech.
Right.
This is the total costs of,
it's quarterly sweeping. Each structure, whether it's a catch basin or a leaching pool, if it gets half full, and who checks when it's half full? When it gets half full, you gotta pump it out.
it
So it's-
added, what was the, I don't remember because I don't have my speech in front of me. But it added, it was like 4 or 5 employees to the sewer, to the water district, couple more street sweepers. I mean, it was a couple $1 million in additional costs, unfunded mandates from the state.
Right. I'm just looking at sweeping streets and, some of the other stuff that they're requiring in here. Yeah, it was adding at least a truck, 2 sweepers, a vac truck, 2 sweepers, and I think 3 employees.
And the vac truck is a $500,000, the sweepers
Right.
are $250,000, and the employees, I think it was 4 employees, but the employees, you're looking at $100,000 apiece. This is, so so I'm gonna take a shot at across the bow of the governor. So when the governor talks about town staying within the 2% tax cap and how the state's doing such a glorious job, the state doesn't even have the data in a bay that they say they own. So, but without that data, they are free to inflict a couple $1 million, at least, in pain on a local municipality to comply with something that they've not even spent the time or the money for the data.
Seems ridiculous.
What kind of estuary doesn't have that data?
It's not here.
No, the data only comes from marine shell fisheries,
Okay.
and they
Well, it should
stop.
have been here.
Brookhaven has their own, people that go out and do the testing for the marine fisheries.
So does Southold, I'm trying to get certified.
Okay,
Well, I'm trying to get a target first, that's why I'm sending these letters.
okay.
So, short and skinny is, there's a retrofit component to this. And the retrofit component is you install some type of measure in the pathogen impaired watersheds to try to remove the pathogens, and again, it's ridiculous because it's all in residential neighborhoods. So, at that point in time, we just have the same discussion or argument that I'm talking about right now, and you can't lose in court. They
You're
would,
talking about your
you would
neighborhood.
win hands down.
So they have, because they have no data.
The sewer.
Because they have no data and.
They
We
and
don't
they're-
even know if we're in compliance or not, because there's no data saying that we're not.
That's exactly right.
Right.
And they're putting a TMDL on us based on what?
Based on what? Yeah, right.
TMDLs, the way they base them is they look at a land area and they say, this looks like the land use for these watersheds. And then they apply factors that are averages nationwide to nitrogen and pathogens and base your TMDL on that. So it's almost arbitrary.
Yeah.
So it's like this. Oh, you have a sewage
That's what I
treatment
said in
plant.
the beginning.
One size doesn't fit all, especially with the amount of treatment that we.
So that, right, and I mean, you get back to which this really, I'm a huge proponent of the tax cap, but this really frosts my milkshake when you wind up sitting here with the governor talking about how he stays within the tax cap, but just jams this down our throat.
Well,
So
Well,
how do we
It's not
do
that
we
cap.
have to do this? Well,
He don't get property tax, he gets sales tax and he gets income tax.
Well, he tries to stay within the tax cap,
Oh.
but he doesn't.
Tell me something, how come there's two rules, one for school districts and one for everybody else? 3.6, the school district, and they didn't go over the tax cap.
'Cause of the
We're
bonding.
we only do 1.3, and we're over the tax
we're
cap.
at 0.7 this
We,
year.
I don't understand this, huh?
It's because of the bonding. School districts are different. It's because
That's
school
what I said.
district bonding is outside. School
He
districts have different rules.
exempt them from
Right,
things he
Sean's
didn't
correct.
exempt
It
us
is
from.
because of the
It's capital
bonding with the school
projects.
district.
Governor has a different rule for the state. 'Cause
Yes.
the state doesn't stay within the town of Riverhead tax cap. The state stays under 2%. Riverhead had 2% tax cap 1 year. That's
Yeah,
it. 1
that's
year.
it.
Every year it's been under that.
Yeah.
So, what's the answer to this?
Right,
Okay,
that's,
so
you said you were applying for that so we can do our own testing?
what I'm doing is I'm sending letters to state a case or form a basis, so that if this ever ends up in court, there's been a paper trail, it's documented why we shouldn't have a pathogen impairment. And it's pretty clear. And Southold is doing the same thing.
Okay,
They're doing it for different regions,
but
for
they can prove
shellfish
it because
beds,
they do testing, right? They can prove it through data.
through
We
data,
can't
right.
yet.
This will, if you're able to accomplish this, you will have earned the weight of your entire staff because the cost that the governor is imposing on us, I mean, you're looking at, just in vehicles, $1 million, and you're looking at 4 employees that are gonna cost, when all's said and done, they're gonna be $500,000 a year in employees. The highway department cannot withstand that kind of increase.
Isn't
Right.
this an EPA issue that came down to all the states? So it's really EPA that's telling
It
the
is
states you have
EPA.
to do this, and the state's pushing it
That's
down to the
exactly
local
right.
levels.
This is
Well,
the
right.
state of New York.
The DEC's been
DEC
sued too, though.
administers
But
that.
this
That's
is from the EPA.
That's
This
correct.
is a huge unfunded mandate.
So,
Nice letter, by the way, to Ms. Tettelbeck.
the plan is that the DEC is evaluating the new permit. And they're also evaluating all the impaired watersheds on Long Island. So, again, I send this in and we'll see where it goes from
Send it
there.
in. So we're not going through
It
this
is.
40-page thing?
No,
I like the letters, and you.
say thank you, Drew.
Thank you, Drew.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
We love you
thank
from
you.
Dillingham.
See that? Thank you very much.
Right.
Well, you went to Division of Water, and you went to, who was the other one you went to?
If this were to happen,
Shell Fisheries.
Well, this had to be in by March anyway, so this MS4 is already in.
No, it has to be
June 9th.
finished.
Yeah,
The
it's
work,
not-
you stop work on March 9th for the last period, and then it has to be in on June 1st.
Right, that's the
Okay.
stormwater fiscal year ending
Got
in
it.
March. Reports due by June.
when is, if they were to make us buy this $1 million worth of equipment and add these 4 or 5 employees, when would that edict come down from the state?
That would come down with the next permit. This permit had a record number of comments, by the way, that they're still wading through. So after they address all the public comments, then they have to revise the permit again. And so we're talking December,
And that, yeah, so the,
at least
that
December.
puts you in a position too, where we don't budget that
budget
way.
for
So if
it.
they came down in January with $1 million, $2 million increase overnight to the highway department, you'd bankrupt the highway department.
It's that one.
And yet the
I
governor
just read that.
wants us
Oh,
to
okay.
play together
And you said the
to
fisheries
cut
do the
costs
same
and
level.
efficiencies.
Yes, yeah, it was a little different. It was for different purposes.
Never even knew that
Yeah, no, it's
existed.
a nice letter, I just read it while you were talking. Very nice.
Oh.
Is that navigable or just canoeable?
Canoeable.
All right, so now what else we got?
That's it.
That's it.
Wow.
Very good, thank you.
Back when we don't have to
get out
listen to
of
this whole
Dan, thank
You
you.
don't have to, it's just a presentation of the, our stormwater program, and this is part of it.
Compiled in the report,
thank you.
which will be available online. Mr. Supervisor, I have reviewed the document. It meets our legal sufficiency regarding the regulatory permit requirements. So is Drew authorized to sign that report?
Do you sign it or do
Yeah,
I sign it?
you,
sign it.
you sign
You
it.
delegated Drew as your
Yeah.
Then you are authorized, if I delegated you or we delegated you, you are authorized, my friend. Just make sure, why is Hubbard Creek blue? Oh, seasonally certified. Hubbard Creek, you could shellfish in there a little bit.
Yeah, they're
Exactly,
not
exactly.
really allowing that these days, cause they've had bad results.
That's what happened to me.
Hubbard's
As a
Creek?
kid, I ate out of that creek as a kid for many years.
Too bad I'll be out of office.
That's interesting. All right, well, that's good news. Let's keep up the fight. Do we need to, at this point, any lobbying efforts? Do we need to do any lobbying efforts, or you're just gonna
Do we have
keep it within
resolutions on here?
staff?
No, we're gonna, well, sure, you could lobby. Who'd you lobby?
Well, we could mention it. I didn't really want to mention something like that tonight, but to Senator Laval at his environmental
Oh, we
roundtable.
definitely mentioned it to him.
Okay.
Yep.
I was gonna do a positive thing with Laval, but, you know, I get positive and a
He's-
negative.
It's positive for us.
It is. Dan, looks like you want to say something.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Pursuant to the public
Is that a
presentation.
fresh new haircut you got there?
Yes,
Looks good.
thank you very much, I appreciate it. May I ask if any member of the public has any questions of Mr. Dillingham concerning the report as per our public presentation?
Do you have any questions?
I think I have any.
No? Okay,
Alrighty then.
thank you.
You're welcome. The modifications for the piers are going out today.
Oh, for the county. No, there's no
No.
resolution,
Are
there's no board
resolutions
meeting.
on here?
No
No board
resolution.
meeting next week. Because Tuesday's the 31st. Yeah, did they flag it yet?
For the piers,
Yeah, over in Wading River.
yes.
Did they flag them yet? I wanna,
I don't know.
no, all right. Do we know how many feet they have to go over? Because I just wanna look at
They
it.
gotta move about 4 feet.
Okay, I think that's fine.
This is some report, so you've done a good job with this report, both of you,
Maybe 10, maybe 10.
compared to what it was
Yeah,
like
what
4
difference
years
does it
ago.
make, though?
Because you block that road, we don't wanna block
Each
that
year,
road.
we've become,
We were behind
No,
the
we're
eight
not
ball
gonna block
because
the road.
We got started late.
10-foot wood.
10-foot mate.
Before eight.
and the requirements
Can you look
now
at the
have
survey?
increased.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I had, that's what I
that
said
has to be
or
provided.
am sending the state, it has a survey on it. And
This will be on our website tomorrow.
we did a drawing, it was just never sent in. So I'm using those poles that were placed
Can
by
you just
former
tell me
meetings.
how many feet, so I can bring my little tape measure out there and measure it? Can you tell me exactly how many feet they have to go over?
8 feet,
Okay.
from the property line to the center of the post.
So from the center of the post, to the center of the new post is gonna be 10 feet.
It's gonna be 10 feet.
Okay, so
I'd rather you measure from the property line, though.
I
No,
can't
is that-
tell where the property line
They're
is.
gonna flag it.
Well, that's what I was waiting for.
Oh, okay.
But if I know 10 feet, I can, if you think 10 feet works, then I
No,
can
it
put
does
Now,
work.
Okay,
does that also affect that roadway going down?
that's what we're trying to
10
figure out.
foot? If it's down, 10 foot down,
I
has to be
wish I
10
had the
foot up.
map with me, but
We
if you
put it
look,
right in line.
if you look at the map, it's not impinging at all on that ramp.
Right, that's what we wanna make sure, that it doesn't go into the
Right.
ramp.
Yeah, okay, but I thought the fence was right down at the end of the ramp.
Nope.
No, it's not. It's west, it's east of the end of it.
Is it east of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We put those poles in like that.
And you know what? If we move them 8 feet and you think they're in the way, so what? You move them 2 feet back. It's not the
I
biggest
just
thing
want
in the
them on the
world.
property line, that's all. Not too far in, not just put them right on the property line.
Oh, you want them on the property line? Okay.
Yeah, put them on the property line.
Change the drawings.
Yeah, put them on the property line.
Like centered?
You're talking here.
Yeah, we want them on the property line, not west of the property line.
Tim, Hubbard on Google Maps.
But if you put them on the property line, won't part of the pier be on the
Google
other
Earth.
people's property?
No, you want the
The
eastern
edge.
edge
You
of the
want
pier
the
on the
edge.
property
Okay.
line, more or
You're
less.
talking
Not-
here, correct?
Yep. I don't know if you can come over 10 feet.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, let me go out and look at it.
that's what I'm thinking, 10 feet
I'll go out and
is
look at it.
gonna,
Yeah, see, that's what I thought, they lined up
they're
right at the end
coming
of that
over.
road.
10 feet's gonna infringe on that road.
That's a huge scale. We're 2 feet over this way. So it's 2 feet to the property line and then 8 feet in.
I will measure it. 10 feet is the number though.
Yes.
I'll measure and I'll report back.
All right, so you want me to hold off? So you
No, submit the application because we have to do something.
showing right on the property line?
Right on the property line.
Okay.
Nobody's ever gonna know if it's a foot this way or a foot that way, so as long as it's on our property, that's what we're looking
All
at.
right, that's what I'll show.
Yep. All right, anything else? Thank you.
I think I'm up
Thank
with
you.
Bob.
Drew,
Bob, what
maybe
do
you
you got?
know this. Wade River Beach, why is the playground, roped off?
Because somebody complained that it was dangerous. So the rec department went down and roped it all off. They had concerns with the ramps that were going up onto the playground, that there was some stuff sticking up that could be a potential
Are they
hazard.
fixing that?
I talked to Ray
By
yesterday.
Memorial Day?
Will you set this?
Oh, no. I talked to Ray yesterday, and they have the company, a rep coming down from the playground company. They have to decide what parts need to be ordered
Oh, you did
to
that too?
fix it.
Oh, you got
So
it?
it's not gonna be working this summer?
He's
Yeah,
gonna,
right.
he was
I actually filled out,
reevaluating
but I
it
think
yesterday
I might have
to see if he
knocked out
could
my
open
stages
up part of it for
or-
usage and avoid, keep the area roped off.
I'm impressed.
My thoughts are we need to do inspections of these way before the end of May.
Sorry.
And the staff has to be out
Should've told you that.
February
Sorry.
and figuring out whether this stuff is available or
want it
not
fixed.
available.
Yeah.
However you can fix it.
It's gonna be a lengthy thing, no matter which way it goes.
So,
It's gonna take time to get parts in, and
Unfortunately,
it's gonna
I'm
take
still
time
killing
to
paper.
get the company to send a rep out to
this summer,
replace
you know
some
we're gonna
things.
get phone calls.
We're getting them already. I got
Yeah,
them
it's already
already.
on the Wading River page. Right?
You want me now?
No, I just wanna know, Tim mentioned something that we want to inspect our parks a little sooner than before Memorial Day opening if there's dangerous
We
conditions.
usually do, I mean, just to change over from Jim to Ashley took a little time, and, Jim didn't complete it. We usually do it in January, February. So, we're through now, we went through the last couple of days.
I know, but what's the fix to open how quickly can we open the playground at the beach?
Well, I was gonna come to you on that one. I don't think, based on my assessment, the playground could be salvageable. And, we had money in the account to order something for the beach, and I would come and ask for a transfer right away.
So why don't we do that?
The playground guy is coming tomorrow to confirm that with me. We're gonna see if we can fix this one. But I don't know, Drew, if you've been down there, every year something goes wrong with that because of the nor'easters that come out of the North Shore. It's getting destroyed. So I asked them for some kind of galvanized playground, something that can withstand that kind of,
That one.
salt.
Playground,
So-
only
Get
got
any
old.
closer to it.
Put in an 09.
10 years?
Yeah, but look at where it is. You can't even get bulkheading the last 10 years down there.
But they don't get the same type of wind and salt water, so.
Yeah, the stuff on the
Yeah, I
Bay
mean, that, and
Beach,
we repainted it 2 years ago. We replaced things
Yes,
3 years ago.
much
And that
longer.
unit's only from 2009,
So let's do this, find out, rather than try to fix some piece of junk,
yeah.
find out what it's gonna cost, if you have the money, do whatever you have to do, PO requisition to put a new playground in, cause it doesn't make any sense to repair something that's junk, that's a pretty
Yeah, that's
well.
the conclusion I came to after Tim came after me yesterday, so.
Alright, so if we have the money, is everybody on board with putting a new playground there?
For a while, then they said it-
You okay with
I'm
putting a
okay
new
with that.
playground there if we have the money?
What does the rec committee say?
yeah, I wanna talk to them first, at least. Because we have other
No, I know,
items
but-
that are on
I
a
know, but
list
we
of
might need to
dire
take it out,
repair
if there's other
also.
priorities that the rec committee has.
We can overrule that
I
right
don't
now.
know.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
that's,
I understand that.
this is what holds everything up. I mean, you only got a month before,
So let's get a phone poll of the rec committee to
Yeah,
see
I'll
what
call
they say.
Brian today.
Good,
Okay.
let's do that.
Okay.
And if they agree, then I think the board agrees, put a PO so we can put a new.
I'll come to you tomorrow with all the information and we can just go from there.
I
Okay.
thought I was gonna
All
have to do this, but you're right on top of it.
All right, what do
Once in a
we,
while. Once in a blue moon.
Clean energy?
Clean Energy Communities.
Okay.
It's established by NYSERDA. It's a program that they have in place. And Drew provided me a copy of the paperwork, which I just handed up, which is the local law for one aspect of, one of the things that you need to do in order to become a clean energy community, which is benchmarking.
We never did it,
I
we
mean,
talked about it.
yeah.
This program is set to expire September 30th, 2019, or when funding runs out, whichever is earlier. It requires that a municipality that wants to qualify complete 4 of 10 high-impact action items, one of which is the benchmarking, one being conversion of streetlights to LED, reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, et cetera. They're all spelled out on the NYSERDA website. If you go to the page, you can see everything. It's laid out
A
very
lot of these
nicely.
things we've been doing.
Do we have to do this,
piecemeal.
do we have to do this by code, or can we do this by resolution?
Well, they're suggesting by a local law that it be added to the code.
Yep.
I mean, it's just
Now,
easier to do it by resolution if we're under a time constraint.
Anybody that I've read that got these grants
Yeah.
from the state, clean energy, or they can
Right.
put in for grants, have electric vehicles, 1 or 2 electric vehicles, and they, you know, that's why they're getting these things. I don't know if that's,
Well, if I
Yeah,
remember
well,
correctly, I
we
think
would have
there's,
a-
some
we
of
would-
these things have to be done after NYSERDA established the program. You can't rely upon things if they were all in place prior. I think you gotta do some of these benchmark items or some of these, action items subsequent to 2016, if I remember from looking at the
well, I don't know,
website.
this is the first time that this was brought up to us. I don't know why the other towns are ahead of us.
Well, there's
The
only,
game
there's
is
only
done.
13 communities on Long Island that have done it.
Yes,
Suffolk County is one of them.
yes,
Brookhaven has done it. Southold has done it. Southampton has done it.
right.
Clean energies?
Yes,
They're all-
they're
they're
on
all-
the list as clean energy
They're all
communities.
on the list, and we're always
But
behind.
there's 13. I mean, there's a lot of, if you think about all the communities that are in Long Island, 13 is not a lot.
There's
Who's the-
33 villages in
No, I
Suffolk County, so-
understand that, but I mean, most of the East End towns are.
So why don't we
here.
do it?
Huh?
So why don't we
Who's,
do it?
Well,
who's
we're
gonna
gonna
be
do
the
it, but
chief
why we
enforcement
get- why do we
officer?
get this so
There's some-
late?
there's
That's
some
what
things
we
I have
did.
We didn't get it
highlighted.
late, John.
Yeah, those are
We didn't get
questions
it
that I
late.
have.
Well, they
We
already
didn't get
done
it late.
Was,
There's a
we
lot of
already
things
know
that
it's
we've done already.
Yeah.
That's
A
why
lot of
Drew
these
is posted
benchmarks
in here.
we've done
We
already.
already know that we're gonna be
Yeah,
taking
they-
care of this.
Engineering's gonna be the chief enforcement officer?
Yeah, and if you look through here, there are
There
a
you go.
lot of requirements.
Right.
So how difficult is it for you to comply with this? I mean, you have the data, you just have to compile it in
It's
one.
labor intensive once a year.
Portfolio manager.
First thing we gotta do is identify all the covered buildings, which is any building 1,000 square feet or more that's occupied.
Okay.
Um,
That's most of our buildings, probably.
Right, then once they're covered, then you have to go in and do an energy audit. And each year, on page 4, you have to report, summary statistics on energy consumption for covered buildings, status of compliance with requirements of the local law, building address, summary statistics, including EUI, weather normalized source, EUI annual GHG emissions, and an energy performance score where available.
So this is not, this is just a really data gathering,
Reporting,
paper chase
yeah.
reporting. This,
Well-
but it's good because the town will then know what the most inefficient buildings
That's
are.
exactly right. That's
You know,
perfect.
it's
Save us money in the
interesting,
long run.
and I have no idea whether we're ever going to be able to purchase the bank building, which has come into the press. But when you think about that building versus all these old energy inefficient buildings that we'd be able to sell potentially 3 buildings and go into a completely, I forget what it costs to heat and air condition this building, but it's staggering. We would probably save just in energy, I'm not gonna say the cost of buying the building, but it's gotta be significant.
It doesn't cost a lot to heat this building, because it's never
Cost
heated.
of
It's always cold in this
We have
place.
one-
The
Once-
HVAC system was put in the 70s. It,
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna venture a guess, well, I knew what it was, I don't remember now.
The loan is up to $250,000, and we have basically one step left, which is, retrofitting the LEDs.
Which we've been doing.
Yes. That's our
We've been
last
doing
step.
that since 2010.
Right.
Every available dollar we have is, and the street lighting's been going to
Now-
LED. So let's.
I know you said we didn't get the slate, but the first audit was supposed to be done by December of 2016, so that means
John,
this had to
read
come out in early 16.
We already discussed this, John. We already had a meeting all about this last year. We did,
About clean energy in general.
and about this.
Yeah, not about
You came to
this,
us
it's
about
been-
this.
We had this last year.
Because I was saying, I don't know why why we don't,
Because that was you had the list of all 4 or 5 things
Right.
that you came here and discussed this.
And I had,
Uh-huh. I didn't
they-
see, we didn't
huh?
look at this, but this
That's what
was
I
one
meant.
of the things that was
Yeah.
in the list.
okay,
But,
local law.
Yep.
Because I don't understand why we don't put solar on the flat roofs.
It's a good joke.
It over our
Probably caved
parking
in.
lots.
It leaks so bad now.
I don't know.
I don't think, yeah.
There was the problems
I don't
with
We'd
the
have
connections.
heated water
Sound
coming in
enough to
instead of
handle
regular rainwater.
We would have to rebuild the roof structurally to handle all the solar panels. The roofs are shot.
All right, don't talk them down too bad. We may have to sell these buildings someday.
Welcome to the most beautiful building in the town of Riverhead, formerly known as the Town Hall. All right, so you have to amend this. I mean, I would assume where you have commissioner, either put town board or supervisor, and where you have the guy that has to actually do the work, you put town engineer.
There's certain things, though, commissioner is, they have a definition for commissioner, they have a definition for departments, so, I mean, it could stay intact, but if the desire is to
No, you've
specify,
got
I
to,
would-
no,
I can
you've
make
got
those
to,
changes.
no, you've got to, commissioner shall meet in the head of the department. You've got to put this so it works for
Shall
the
meet the
town of
town
Riverhead.
engineer.
Right,
Did you tell them about the stipend that you put in there?
yes. We're getting right on
That's
that.
that's on the last page.
It's
That
on
I did
the
not
last
see.
page.
In very small print.
Yeah.
I think it was like about
Two font.
a 6 font. Or 2 font, that's correct.
Good luck.
Now we'll have 4 buildings, that's it.
It's hidden inside the page numbers.
Yeah, I think that you have
I
to
think I
take,
might have used invisible ink on that.
I think you gotta take the word commissioner out, make it the department head, the head of, department head of the town engineer. You've gotta modify this so it works for the town. So put a resolution in, we're in agreement with this?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, put a resolution in and we'll get a public hearing and go forward. Yeah, we really thought that
Thank you, Drew.
stormwater was gonna be a long thing. Thanks, Drew. Stormwater, clean energy, downtown revitalization. Ray, intergenerational program update. Where's Judy, Ray?
Yeah, well, let's knock some of that stipend out of there.
So where are we with our,
100.6.
Bob, you should just sit in here because I may have questions that are going to involve you.
Want to ask them first?
No, we're talking about doing that Alzheimer's or adult
that,
daycare.
yeah.
Come on up, Judy, we're just getting started.
Perfect timing. Good, she can talk about one thing I forgot.
Hey.
Your friends came up too, man.
I have friends?
The ones with Cornell Avenue or Cornell?
Oh, the Elwoods.
Nice people.
They're very nice.
All right, good morning.
They're my neighbors.
Oh, we just started. Drew finished like 45 minutes earlier than we thought, so. All right, where are we with our intergenerational?
I think the two things we wanted to discuss today was the Community Fund Day, and then another intergenerational thing. The Community Fund Day, Judy's been spearheading, so.
Oh, well, let's talk about
This is rough, but you can kind of see what it's about. I'm sorry, my fingers are not working right. Thanks, thanks.
No.
Okay, just get it.
You're right, 'cause I
That's
called you.
I'm sorry, you don't have the right stuff.
Not the right stuff.
This is it, John.
No, I gave it to him.
No.
The other
just-
stuff you can
just-
give me, that's about
Give that
later.
back, John. Well, I'll take one. I mean, I realize I'm way down here, but.
Take that.
Thank you.
And I'll take
I'll
another
do
one.
the
I'm sorry.
All right, so what are we doing?
We can share.
It's,
share
staff
my
has been working
public
really hard to put together an all-day, event at the center that we'll be renaming the Shade Tree Community Center and to push to spread the news about the merge between the two departments. So there'll be activities for all ages that day.
Trying to form an identity, a brand for this new merger, and this was something we spoke about many times. Say, this is like our launch party. we're officially telling people, now this is the time of year to do it. So we're introducing all this at this Community Fund Day.
I'm trying to figure out how Latin dance and the Imagination Playground fit in with Birds of Prey. Was that a
Just throw
typo?
everything in there.
We ran the gamut on activities, and it was, you know, everybody had an input as to what we wanted to,
We wanted the town board to come at
Focus
11
and
for the
have
face painting. You guys can get your face painted,
Okay, I wanna paint your face.
please. It's already painted half the time, isn't it?
I'll
Put
be
the black
there.
over it, you know?
I'll be there.
Sounds like a great idea. When are you planning, June 3rd?
next, yeah, a week from now.
Oh, so it's like right around the corner.
Right around the corner. Yeah,
Is that a Friday or Saturday?
it's a Saturday.
Saturday.
And the rock wall is possibly coming to us on loan from East Hampton Town. We've been in touch with them.
They have a rock wall?
Yeah.
You got some money over there.
Insurance to go with it.
Yeah, the-
Where are we with our adult daycare, Alzheimer's?
Bob's working on doing an RFQ, and
Well, why don't you designate it to somebody?
Keep taking the staff away.
Okay, because I would like to try to get that on board as, you know,
and from their end, they're working on their grants so that they'll be all ready when we're ready.
okay.
Latin dance.
You know what, you can use my office, the one in Wading River. You can actually get work done there if people don't come in all the time. Feel free. And the computer system works a lot better, too.
Do a square dance, line dance.
Now, just because there's no Wi-Fi in here,
All right, so, I mean, I really want to push that center because that Alzheimer's thing, you know, the adult daycare is huge.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
Perfect
Bob.
facility for it, too.
Yes, I need a
Yeah, it
place
really
for my
is.
wife to go for a couple hours.
Okay,
Respite?
right.
We're also going around to the communities, the senior communities, to, again, identify the brand. Ashley actually was the first one to do it, because we're asking all the employees to do it. I forget the name of the community. Right across the street from Fox Village, what is that?
Windcrest is-
Windcrest, that's where we went, yeah. She set it up with the lady that, I guess, runs their events, and we met with them last Thursday, and they had the whole clubhouse packed with people. And we went over everything that happens in the senior center and what we're doing with the merge, and
That's good.
a lot of them got excited, because again, we're trying to identify the younger seniors, the 60, 70-year-olds, because again, the perception is that the senior center, you have to go in with a walker, and that, you know,
Right.
all old people, which is not the truth.
You should hit Stoneleigh Woods as
Been here a couple
the
years, I'll be
newest.
60.
It's a great place to go to. They have a lot of things, so we're gonna start going around like that. Guerrilla marketing, we call it.
If you get anybody else for dinner, you're gonna have to expand the dining room.
Oh, we're working on that,
Huh?
too.
Yeah, you didn't see those plans?
No,
Oh,
we don't
sorry.
see nothing. We don't get shared nothing. Huh?
It was a
I didn't
joke.
see the
We just
plan.
asked you for the money, that's all.
Huh?
No plans.
We're just behind the times
There's
here.
no
Need to-
plans,
need to know
John.
It was a joke, John.
Huh?
It was a joke, because I keep saying we're gonna
Oh.
have to build up soon.
All right.
So we're building, slowly building, but we're building.
Well, yeah, 'cause that's full.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's Charlie. He's a great cook.
Oh,
Everybody's
yeah,
coming to
we
eat
gotta-
his food.
We got
Yeah, they're
a
so-
lot of compliments, Charlie.
We gotta take care of him, so.
What?
That's the next workshop.
Uh-oh, he's talking.
Is they in our wallets again? All right.
Yeah, next Saturday.
So, I mean, from my perspective, push that. This is a great idea. Push the Alzheimer's or the adult daycare. I really want to get that thing moving. And you're going to be doing intergenerational stuff in the Columbus Avenue building at the same time,
Yes,
correct?
yes, we're doing that now.
Judy, how are you
Building a
promoting
team.
this? I mean, we only got like a week, but
It's been it's going in the papers, they do the weekly, it's gonna be the highlight on the weekly, rec
I
report
know
that
you
goes
guys, there's
out.
a couple of real
Are you
big
sent-
Spanish churches that helped me out with my town cleanup that were tremendous.
Oh, good, just give me the names, Jim,
Okay.
code them to me.
I'll
We'll make sure
contact
they get
Sister
some.
Margaret. She's in touch with them, right?
Because
All right.
I know there's a,
Seems
I
like,
would love to
do we
come down.
have enough time for next week?
They've been working on it,
Okay.
yeah.
And can you get maybe do a press release, and we can,
Yeah,
if you do a
yeah,
press
they're working
release,
on
we
that
can
too.
get it out to
Okay.
That's a good
LNGRIP,
idea.
Riverhead Local News
No
Review.
coming from the public.
We have it on those. We have ads in those
That's four
papers,
people.
and
You have it on
we send out our
Riverhead
marketing
Local?
report, but the press release would be good. Yeah, Riverhead Local, we have an ad, an ongoing thing, so we put it on there.
Well, let's get a press release
And
out or
there's one
something.
with the news review too, so locally we've got
Yeah,
it, but I'll
good,
give you one
yeah.
to your office.
Okay.
Yeah, News Review will get it next Thursday.
Yes, they've already been working with them.
No.
They've
All right,
contacted.
sounds like you guys are well on your way.
Okay.
but yeah, that's a great idea too, to hit all those. Stoneley's gonna be that's all new residents, so you should get into Stoneley. Some of the other communities
Okay.
have been around a while, but Stoneley, some of
They're
them are
relatively
new,
new, right?
they're
Okay.
relatively new.
Yeah, no, we plan on it, but just, we started
We've
it.
been to Windcrest over the years, they invite us in every so often.
They're nice people over there.
Yeah, you know, great communities. All right, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
So Jody,
Thank you.
this is for you, girl.
What?
I've had an epiphany.
Oh, no.
It actually was Dave Worthington. I don't know Dave Worthington. I know David Worthington Olson. I know David W. Olson. I don't know David Worthington. So I'm going to step out on faith here because this is not budgeted for. And so this is purely on faith.
I'm gonna give you a hug.
You better wait to hear what he's
Wait to hear
saying.
what it is.
Talk about Dave
I want to
Worthington.
give myself a big no. They pay me too much anyway. I think that instead of hiring a part-time code enforcement, that we should just hire one full-time weekend code enforcement officer.
Wow.
Who beat you in the head finally? Enough.
I'll fight you.
Wow.
Make it sink in.
You need a
I'll fight
hug.
you on that.
Holy moly.
Oh, wait, no, right here.
Oh, my God, I just regurgitated my coffee.
So, you know,
Did you go to sleep with something under your pillow that you usually
it's
don't put under
men's
there?
prayer
or-
group in the morning, so I come out so refreshed
Well,
and
maybe
willing
I
to
need to
spend
start
money.
going
Now,
to
Sean,
that
you're
then.
saying weekends, so you're talking about a full-time,
We'll
part-time?
hire, like we did
full
with
part-time.
Smith, we'll hire somebody full-time from Thursdays to Tuesdays.
Right.
Oh, so an overlapping, so a
Perfect.
full-time employee.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But
I'll
the
go with
hours, we gotta talk about the hours too, because, I don't know that it should be 8:30 to 4:30. I think that it should be
Oh,
more like 6 o'clock to like,
Well, we do
3
a flex
o'clock.
agreement or
Well,
something, but.
I'm not,
No, it
let's,
has to be in the evening or in the
Well, it
morning.
can be flex also,
Because,
Yep.
or
depending
flex
upon
time,
the need of
maybe
the
flex time.
investigation that he's doing,
well, that's,
or she's
what-
doing.
we're okay to do that, to flex them, if we hire them.
I'm not worried
With that
about,
understanding,
I'm
right.
not worried about the details.
Okay.
Let's, figure out what
We
we
just
can
gotta
do.
fund it for half a year, that's all.
I don't know where you're funding it from.
Well, we
Even
have
Larry's
to
giving
decide.
me the thumbs up and they're taking pictures. I can't help, you know, it comes down to obviously the budget. There's a reason that we've done so well on our budgets is because we don't spend money, but I get it.
That's
I
for
watched
sure.
Dave Worthington's post this morning and I don't know who the dude is, but when he starts saying, I'm tired of hearing about EPCAL and I'm tired of hearing about downtown, and I'm tired of hearing it both sides. I'm worried about code enforcement, and I'm like, all right, I get it.
Do you think that, because I was talking to
I
Nate-
am also going to, not to interrupt you, I asked the chief of police to find out what part-time police officers are willing to do code enforcement in addition, and he's gonna reach out, because we're gonna have 13 part-time police officers, and if any of them are willing to do it, they have to do it as police officers, they will wind up getting paid the $22 or whatever an hour. I can't do anything about that, but we can immediately descend, could be 13 people on code enforcement, so those 300 complaints are gonna evaporate.
They
Because
can't
a lot
com-
of them
they-
are gonna be
They
quick.
can't come in as police
And the
officers.
police-
Remember.
A lot of them are
They-
not.
Wait, they can't come in as police officers.
Okay,
They only
Well,
can
let's
work
not debate
in
that.
the summertime.
we're gonna work all those issues out. We'll work all those issues out, so
So you think
So,
it's,
we'll.
the decision is to hire a full-time code enforcement officer rather than 2 part-timers, that we don't have to?
Full-time code enforcement and any part-time police officers that are willing to learn code enforcement for things like cut grass or abandoned vehicles or things that are easy, that don't take long investigations. Where
Right.
you just go out, you look at it, you write the ticket, you
Yep.
leave, you're done.
Yeah.
Okay,
That kind of stuff.
so we'll post and then interview for that.
Yep.
And
Have
then,
Meg-
the IT department did budget for the computer software that we were asking for also for the periodic inspections for
Well,
the
they
fire
shouldn't
marshal.
budget for it, but she's gonna use her own budget.
Yes,
It has to be, that's where it's gonna
right,
come from.
so we do have the money in the IT budget for that, is
Well,
what
yeah.
I'm being told.
Like, something we can put on our cards. David, thank you. All right, is there anything
Okay.
else? Usually you guys are
Well,
always
I
adding
can tell you I had a
things.
very productive meeting this week with Newcastle Communications, who is
feel like it's my
a
birthday.
subsidiary of
It's next
Telecom
week.
Communications, which we did a resolution to investigate at least our voice data and all
Right.
that in the town. Very good, and they have new things out now where that dark fiber that doesn't connect, there's ways around that, so it looks like everybody's they're putting a whole prospectus together.
You mean we might get rid of the 1988 phone system?
Yeah, and you know, there's so much stuff out there, and it looks real good, so,
As long as it saves money.
and you're right. Well, I think the savings will pay for it, but in a long time, let's see what they put together. So.
And I got.
Yeah, there's another firm that wants to do it too, so.
I know, but, right, and they're aware of all of
Right.
that. In fact,
And
I
I got a-
dance around black box, throw them out into the,
And I got a phone call about, putting a cell tower up in the highway department. How the town board feels about that.
That was one of the locations we wanted to build one.
Yeah,
needs assessment.
so I just
Well,
want to,
just give me needs
pass it
assessment.
by town board.
Talk to Anne Marie Prudenti. I mean, they wanted
Who's in
their,
Florida till Tuesday?
yeah, sure she wanted that announced.
That's right, I'm watching it now.
Yeah, that's ours.
Cause it's only commercial around there and.
Bring it on,
no
baby.
residential.
Talk to Anne Marie when she gets back
Anne Marie?
about, because we did do an we did an RFP
Yeah,
years
we
ago
did
and
an
selected
RFP on
people
that,
from the
yeah.
highway department to
Yeah.
do it, and nobody wanted to do it,
Yeah.
so. You
At
may
the
have to,
time-
you may have to go forward and do that again,
Okay.
RFP.
You still need a needs assessment, don't you, roundabout way?
Yeah, I don't,
talk
that's
to
why I
Anne
said
Marie.
talk to Anne Marie Prudenti.
Yeah, I'll talk to her.
All right, anything else,
She on vacation?
on
Yeah.
Jody's birthday?
No, she just left today.
What?
Colonial Ball.
Oh, yeah, and if you wanna get elected,
Next
you guys
Friday,
have
but
to
it's
go
an
with
early
your
birthday
husbands or
present.
significant others.
And they're wearing costumes. They're participating.
Full participation, that's what
That's
you need
right.
in town hall.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm going, but I'm not wearing a costume. I know, I deleted it.
That's, the inauguration ball, that's our son's rehearsal dinner. He's getting married the next day, so I will not
well,
be
you
able
don't have
to
to go.
attend that.
William's getting married already?
No, Michael.
All right, anything else? No? Can I get a motion?
There's a
I'll
few
make
that
a
have tried to
motion
scoop
to go
them up,
to town
but
board.
I'm holding, there's
They
a
go
few that have tried to
executive
scoop them
session.
up.
For
Second.
personnel and,
All in favor? Aye, opposed,
Aye.
abstentions, to go into exec session. We'll go back here.
We're gonna go back here? I hate that.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna hire.
I don't like that one. No, I don't like that one one bit. Why not? Because it's